I've just bought this Rolex Submariner for £9,000 brand new from my authorised dealer, and yes, I'm going to flip it straight away. But Vinny, I hear you ask, you're an independent dealer. What if Rolex discovered that an AD sold you stock knowing that you intend to sell and profit? It's possible. How possible? Well, it's soon to get a lot more possible, with the brand dropping their latest bombshell. First, they launched their certified pre-owned program to tap into the massive profits grey dealers were making. Then, by acquiring Bucherer, they effectively cut out the wholesaler ADs and began selling directly to customers. Now Rolex is entering phase 3 of their master strategy, tightening its grip on primary, grey and after sales service markets. Is this their final step towards total domination, and how will it impact collectors like you? I'm Vinny, welcome back. So what is this big brand new master plan from Rolex which is going to rid the world, in my opinion, of opportunistic flippers like me? In a recent patent published last month by Rolex, it details an online infrastructure proposal for logging service histories, owner data, and more. Now, it's proposed that this will be a web-based system which will be accessible via Rolex warranty cards only, not via an implant inside the watches themselves, unlike what nonsense you may have heard swirling around online. Now, of course, since 2020, Rolex warranty cards have contained scannable NFC chips anyway, but now Rolex owners will have the option when purchasing their watch new to add ownership details and service history. Rolex aims to address theft by allowing owners to prove ownership digitally, making it harder for stolen watches to be resolved. Now, I did say at the start of the video that this idea actually goes much further. Rolex will tell you that this new digital system will be to prevent theft and also prevent counterfeiting of their watches. And of course, there are many benefits, but there are also many downsides to this new proposal. But these benefits fall more in favour of Rolex themselves, and more specifically Rolex's bottom line and profit margins. This is a power move, in short, to arrest greater control of the primary, grey and after sales service markets. Grey market dealers could benefit from this system because it means that potential buyers could easily verify the authenticity of a watch they're about to buy simply by reaching for their phone and tapping it on the guarantee card that's provided with that Rolex and bringing up a web-based system where they can see the name of the original owner and its service history. So where we have that potential benefit on the one hand, there's actually a negative and downside to independent grey market dealers in the fact that potential buyers may actually be pushed more towards buying through authorized channels, i.e. Rolex's brand new certified pre-owned program. It's possible that when the details of that original owner is entered into this digital system, when that watch is purchased new, that later on down the line, it may only be that that authorized dealer can update those details on that system themselves. Now, of course, we will be able to, as independent dealers, read the web-based platform, but we haven't got access to be able to go on and adjust it. So if a watch gets sold on the grey market by ourselves, we won't be able to update the ownership information, and therefore, in theory, that watch is still owned by the original buyer whose details were uploaded when it was first bought. However, with the certified pre-owned program, this is where I believe Rolex may be trying to add an extra incentive to pay more and buy directly from the authorized dealer second hand, because who knows, potentially the AD may be able to edit and update those original ownership details. This may lead to a hysteria surrounding the grey market for new Rolex pieces, where if you buy from the grey market, you'll never actually be registered as the owner of that watch digitally. This may plant seeds of concern amongst potential buyers that when they go to take that watch in for service, they may have problems because they are not registered as the owner. That's why I argue that I believe this whole system and the idea of this system is really an attempt for Rolex to take even more control of the grey market and push buyers more towards CPO out of fear fear that they will never be registered as the owner. So let's talk about the merits of this system for combating counterfeiting. Now, counterfeiting is a huge problem in the industry, and specifically with Rolex pieces, it's more prevalent than with any other brand. Now, this new pattern could set a precedent for other brands to introduce more advanced anti-counterfeit measures. Hublot and Breitling have already begun exploring blockchain or NFC-enabled tech for authentication. And this trend towards a digital footprint associated with new luxury watch sales on the market really was a niche thing, and it always will be a niche thing until Rolex joins the party. If Rolex does one thing, the rest of the industry has to follow, and will follow very quickly. So Rolex getting involved in this space will absolutely mean that within a year or two of them doing that, that everybody else will as well. And if, in theory, there isn't a digital footprint associated with the watch, that NFC chip that you can scan, check the details on that web-based platform, then you can assume that it's a fake. Concerns with this, however, is that counterfeiters will always catch up. They will eventually attempt to mimic these web-based systems and NFC chips. So what about the impact of this on watch crime? Well, I don't think it will significantly deter watch crime, particularly given that 99.9% of watches are stolen off the wrist, which means they're not stolen with their accompanying warranty card. So while it might help recover watches if a watch is taken in for service and Rolex realizes that on their web-based platform that that watch is registered as stolen, it won't actually prevent the watch crime from happening in the first place. And this idea that the watches or the warranty cards are traceable is not how NFC works. NFC is a near-field frequency, therefore it only gives off a signal in close proximity. That's why your phone will have to be physically tapped against the warranty card to bring up that web-based platform. So what about the benefits for Rolex then? Rolex the brand, Rolex the business, Rolex the juggernaut. Of course, this whole idea is not really about helping you guys out. It's not about helping collectors out. It's not about preventing watch crime. It's about lining their own pockets with as much money as possible. They are trying to arrest control of the primary market. They've done that by buying out Bucherer and essentially cutting out that wholesaler margin by going directly to the consumer themselves, by in essence becoming the retailer. They also are now going after the grey market with the certified pre-owned program, which you're going to be more incentivized to use now if you're not able to update the watch ownership history associated with that watch. But also they are looking at a future where they know they're going to produce more watches every year. Rolex also intend to open new factories, and that means that production will increase from their 1.1 million pieces per year. 10-15 years into the future, those watches will need servicing. That means that revenues for servicing in future will absolutely go up. Now, of course, you can take your Rolex Submariner, for example, to be serviced by an independent watchmaker and maybe pay around £350, saving you £300 or £400 and much quicker turnaround time as well than if you went to the authorized dealer. However, if that watch is going to be serviced, but it cannot be added to the web-based record, the digital footprint associated with this watch, that it was serviced, then in theory, that service never happened. When you come to sell it on and the questions arise, well, have you had this watch serviced? And you say yes, and you've only got receipts to show that you had it serviced by someone independent, that doesn't add anywhere near as much value to that watch than if you spent a few £100s more and took it to an AD, and they're able to update the web-based platform with the service records of exactly what was done and what was carried out on that watch. That all adds value and therefore incentivizes people more to go back to the AD and thus mop up as much of the market share for that greater liquidity of Rolex watches that's going to be going around in 10-15 years from now and taking away money from the independent watchmakers. This is all about, once again, maximizing profits, and as part of their long-term strategy for dominating all aspects of the watch industry and any economy that surrounds their watches. So what about that Submariner then that I mentioned at the top of the video? I bought that recently from an authorised dealer, and it is absolutely my intention to sell it and make a couple of £1,000 profit.
Afraid so. Third time. Scum. Subhuman scum.
Now at the moment, the warranty cards which are supplied with watches do not have the details on there of who the owner is. There's simply a date and a serial number. If the web-based system is imposed by Rolex in the future, then that means my own personal name will be placed on that web-based platform. Now I can't see a situation where an authorized dealer would openly upload my details and my name to their system digitally, which can go back to Rolex, be checked and verified by Rolex themselves, and then lead back to the AD getting in trouble because they know who I am, they know that I have an online presence, and it's very easy to digitally track and monitor who the ADs are selling their watches to. So the era of secondary market dealers buying watches from Rolex, perhaps through the back door, to flip and sell them on, and those ADs turning a blind eye, will absolutely be over. Everyone's a winner, apart from you the collectors and the grey market dealers. Why? Because you guys are going to end up paying more through CPO and paying more through having to get your watch serviced through their own service centres. Let me know what your thoughts are, guys, down in the comments below. Until the next one, go check out vinnyfrancis.com, and I will see you soon. Take care.